So we are looking to the fundamental rights exception. This is the part 2 of the video. Next is the Article 21. Article 21 is about the no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law. Means it's about we have the right to get pollution free air, no adulteration of a food, pure water, personal liberty, right to education. It was added in 2002. Right to education was added in 2002 as Article 21A. Then right against the custodial violence, then no inhuman treatment can be given to anybody. Right to a fair trial means no partiality and no hazardous things can be thrown in the ocean sea. This is about the this is about the Article 21. Next is the exception. Exception is that preventive detention can be done. Means to avoid the quarrel, no dispute or such preventive detention can be used. The person who is from the enemy state or under the suspension, then it is not necessary to apply this fundamental right to him. He cannot use this right. The government can arrest him without the warrant. To maintain the peace and order, government takes such preventive measures. Then in the Article 22, it is against the illegal detention, arrest. There are three provisions. First is the person cannot be arrested without informing that person. Then the reason should be told to him on which grounds that person is arrested. And third is the person should be allowed to call his relatives or the friends if you want to contact anybody. The person should be presented within 24 hours in the front of the magistrate. Then the Article 23 is about the right against exploitation. Article 24 is the no child below the age of 14 years shall be employed to work in any factory or a mine or engaged in any other hazardous employment. Then Article 25. Its exception is the noise is created while praying or any other activity that is causing nuisance can be restricted. The inhuman acts or which leads to create quarrel, riots, disputes or the crimes, then it can be restricted, stopped. If your work is against the national security or causing any harm to the status, security of the nation, then the work can be stopped and you can be punished. Then Article 26, that no tax are applied on any religious activities. Inhuman practices are prohibited. This is the exception, that inhuman practices are prohibited. Example, sati. Then the Article 29, it's the minority classes protected. Article 30, the colleges, institutions, associations which are taking the government funds cannot give, teach, preach any religious activities. They have to give common education. Means such associations are not allowed to teach any religious activities. They have to give common education who are taking funds from the government. Then 31B, government can acquire any land of anybody for only public purpose, and for the land the person should be given the compensation. Next is the Article 31B. Then the question is asked that by which amendment the right to property was shifted from the fundamental right to legal right. Then the answer is by the 44th Amendment 1978. And what is the status of right to property? Now it is a legal right. First it was the fundamental right, but now it's a legal right. And by the 44th Amendment 1978, right to property was shifted from the fundamental right to legal right. Then right to movement. Now the exception is here that in no entry areas, danger zone, curfew areas or the private laboratories, buffer zone, private properties, research centers, if you don't have permission, then you cannot roam or have the movement in that areas. This is the exception of the right to movement. Next is now the Article 359. In the emergency, the fundamental rights are suspended only in according to the Article 359. Then the Article 32. It's a fundamental right. Writs are issued only to protect the fundamental rights, and it is in the Part 3 of the Constitution. It is a fundamental right. Whereas the Article 226 is not a fundamental right. Article 226 is the writs are issued of fundamental right for any other purpose, like a writ against the decision of any administrative tribunal. So here we have completed all the important articles.